Welcome back to another video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm a Cards and Dice tabletop baseball game designer. I'm going to show you a new football game that I've been working on. Every time it seems like I go to try to do football, it just I get to a certain point and it just, even if the gameplay is good, it's not easy to make the seasons, and so I keep sort of struggling really to find a game that has good gameplay and is fun and also is easy to create seasons for. It's just been really challenging, really difficult. It's a sport I just haven't been able to quite figure out how to translate it well to the tabletop, and I know other people have done a good job, but the games take forever. It takes a long time just to run one play. Excuse me. And so I would like to create something that takes less than an hour and a half, maybe cut playing time in half compared to most games, but it's still possession by possession, or not possession, but play by play, and still gives you the feel, of the teams and what's happening. So I keep struggling, I keep trying, and one day I'll get there. So this is another concept. This is actually based off of a similar concept from Quick Play Baseball, which I just released all the seasons from 1901 to 2022 for Quick Play. So obviously, being able to do seasons quickly is a huge plus for these games. And also, I want something that can be where I don't have to do a lot to do a season from 1972 as opposed to 2022. So I don't want to have to do a lot of figuring and changing things and that type of stuff. So I want something that has kind of even gameplay across different eras. And I think I'm on to something here. So this doesn't require dice. It actually requires 2 decks of cards. So 2 standard playing decks is all I have here. And then you can see here these team sheets. I've actually printed off just in alphabetical order, but this one has, the main teams from last year. So Kansas City, Buffalo, and Philadelphia. And hopefully you can see that okay. But you can see here with the Bills, there are 3 sort of boxes or grids on this team sheet. And basically you would cut, if you wanted to have individual teams, you could cut these, you could fold them as sort of a tri-fold, and then that would be easy to carry around or increase the portability a little bit. These card sizes are not the size of a standard playing card, so you can see it's not going to fold neatly into the box like Quick Play does. I suppose I could try to make that happen. Just have to bring everything in a little. There's definitely room to put 4 on a page, and there's some room to figure things out as far as the game is concerned, the components. But right now, just trying to get the gameplay down and make sure all the plays are accounted for. So basically, first you run for when you look on ProFootballReference.com, you see the total plays. Total plays is broken down as passes, rushes, so passing attempts, rushing attempts, and sacks. So that's how I went. So with total plays, it makes it easy to break down the percentage of each type of play that the teams have run. With a standard deck of cards, there are 52 possible results. Now I've broken those down into offense and defense. So when Buffalo is on offense, they're, it's a 1 out of 26 chance for whatever it is. When they're on defense, it's also a 1 out of 26. But when you combine that with the other team's offense or defense, there's a 1 out of 52 chance, which is 1.9% or so. So that's how the math breaks down. But basically, you look up the teams, how many passing plays. So it's passing plays divided by total plays, rushing plays divided by total plays, and sacks divided by total plays. And that gives you your sort of pie chart breakdown of all of the different types of plays for each team. And you can see that most of them are going to be pretty similar. You have Buffalo, it's a little bit more of a 50-50 type team. So a little bit more running the ball than Kansas City or Philadelphia, which might surprise people with Philadelphia. But their profile looks very similar. And then you also have a defensive profile. So Buffalo runs their pass defense a little bit more than Kansas City. And Philadelphia runs their pass defense a little bit more as well. And then you can see by how many sack opportunities there are, you know, what kind of rushing or pass rush defense does each team have. So you can get a pretty good sense just from the cards. The orange color is a pass, the blue color is a rush, and then the green color is a sack. And then once you've gone from here, you'll go to either the passing or the rushing chart based on, there's a sack chart on a separate special plays and special teams kind of chart. But you'll basically go to either the passing chart or the rushing chart. Now, when you flip the card, and I'll show you in just a minute when I do a little bit of gameplay, depending on whether it's a heart, a diamond, a club, or a spade, that's going to lead you to particular results. So a 7 of hearts is a rushing play, but a 7 of clubs is a pass play. So you just sort of follow across the page to find the right play. And some of these dip into others, and so not all 7s are going to be rushing plays, for at least for the Bills. Same thing here for the Eagles. Not every 8. 1-8 is going to be a rush, 1-8 is going to be a pass. So you just really just kind of have to look, and I'm sure after a while you'll memorize it, especially with your favorite team. And then once you come down to the passing, so you'll flip one. If it's a pass, you'll flip another card. And if the initial card is a red card, so let's say it's a 9 of hearts, then on the passing, you're going to look on the offensive side. If it's a 9 of clubs, then that's a pass, but it's to the defense. So the defensive card is going to be played. And then instead of looking at the Bills' offense, you'll be looking at the opposing team's defense. So let's say they're playing the Chiefs, and then you would go to the Chiefs' 9 of clubs on defense, and then that would be the result. And so instead of it would be a plus 7-yard completion instead of a plus 9-yard completion. So when it comes off of the offensive side of the ball, generally it's a better result than off of the defensive side. So it's really subtle, 9 yards, 7 yards. But boy, when you look at the NFL and you really put the stats next to each other, it's pretty subtle, the difference between the best team and the worst team. So that's how generally it works. You do the same thing with rushing plays. So you can see here that there's an offensive side and a defensive side. There are some big plays. Also interceptions, automatic interceptions. That's based off of the team's interception percentage. And then we have some big plays here. So, obviously Kansas City has more big plays. Philadelphia has more big plays. Buffalo Bills a little bit more steady. I might need to change that. I think I have 2 big plays for everybody, so that's probably just a misprint. But you can see here, Chicago, they ran the ball much more than other teams. So here the passes start at 9, here the passes start at 10. So, and gave up a lot more sacks, generally, on the offensive side. Although they did have more positive generally more positive rushing yards. So if you run the ball with the Bears, you're gonna do better than if you pass the ball. Same thing with the Ravens. With the Ravens, generally you're gonna, they have a really stout run defense. So you can see even against some of these other teams, they have 2, 4, 5 sort of negative plays. A lot of these other teams only have 2 or 3. So tried to work in each team's philosophy, each team's sort of profile about the way that they play. And so that's the and I'm gonna have to get my third sheet. Hold on. All right, I'm back. This is really the second part. So we have our team sheets, and then the second part is this special plays chart, basically. So we have all of our kicking, so punts, kickoffs, field goals. Each team is rated 1 through 4 for their field goals. You can see them here. And so let's say it's the Cardinals are a field goal rating of 2, and so you would draw a card and then you would compare it against the number 2 column. For punts, the same thing works. You draw for the punt and then you draw for the return. So this would be the offense pile that you draw from and the defense pile. I envision this game working just as well for solo as for head-to-head. But when you're head-to-head, each of you can have a card deck. And then you play from the appropriate deck as the play warrants. Sorry. Some allergies. The last couple of days. So typically you're going to have, I use the red for, this is just me, red for offense and blue for defense. But you can use however you want to with your card decks. And then if it was a 2-player game, each person would just have a deck in front of you, and you would flip on the right turns. There are big plays in here, so we have big plays for punting, for kickoffs, and just normal big plays that come off of this team sheet here. There's a full penalty chart. So if you have a big play and then there's, say, a penalty, there's penalties here. You can see just normally, then you would draw. If it's a running play and it's the offense that drew the penalty, then you would look at the defense. If it was the defense that had the penalty, then you would look at the offense. There's a sack chart here. So basically when there's a sack, you just flip a card and reference how many yards were lost. And the last part is I need to work on interception yardage. Right now I've just been flipping a card, and whatever yardage that is, it's the line of scrimmage plus that many is where the team takes over. So that will have to be added as well. We have a coffin corner punt, so that's kind of a special punt if you want to use that. And then we have big plays on the kickoff as well. Yeah. And so that's the special teams. This is just a chart that I use to keep track of time. Timing is the same thing, 30 seconds for running plays, completed passes, sacks, interceptions. Incomplete passes, punts, kickoffs, field goals are 15 seconds. And then all plays inside of 2 minutes in the second and the fourth quarters are going to be 15 seconds unless the team, just is ahead. But if the game is close, it's kind of a hurry up offense type situation. Right now we're playing Arizona at San Francisco. And after the first quarter, it's 10-3. Now that was our scoring in the first quarter. So here is basically the end of the quarter. And then this rolled over into the second quarter. So this field goal, 27 yards for Arizona, is going to count in the second quarter. But let's just get a little gameplay in. Hopefully you can see everything okay. I know it's kind of far away, but we're playing with these two teams here. I guess we can kind of do that a little bit more like that, so that you can just see those two teams only. We're in the, so 13 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter. I watched an interesting video on shuffling the other day, and this is called the overhand shuffle, where you just kind of drop cards. And the guy said if you do the overhand shuffle, in order to truly get, like from a standard deck, pulling it right out of the box, to get a truly random number, you'd have to do that 10,000 times. To do the riffle shuffle, which is what you hear there, you only have to do 7 or 8 times to get a truly randomized set of cards. So I've employed both. So I do a little bit of overhand shuffle, and I do a little bit of riffle shuffle, and hopefully that gives me a nice randomized shuffle each time. Because what you're doing is you're shuffling. I've been shuffling after every possession. So you run an entire possession with the offense and the defense. You're going to use more offensive cards than defense. But you will sometimes get into a run of black suits. And so you're going to run the defensive cards anytime there's a black suit or some sort of kick return. So Arizona's just scored. There's 13:30 left in the second quarter. And we are going to run a kickoff. So we're looking here. We flip our first card. So from the offensive perspective, that's the kickoff. This is going to be Arizona kicking to San Francisco. I keep flipping over the 6 of either hearts or diamonds. I think every single time in this game, it's starting to get a little strange because I can't seem to do anything else. So it's a 67-yard kickoff that takes it 2 yards deep in the end zone, and then we have to run the return. So for the defense, that's a return. A 2 of hearts is going to be only 12 yards, so that's out to the 10-yard line. That's about as bad a return as you could get. And 15 seconds off the clock, and so San Francisco is going to start at their 10-yard line, and we are at 13:15. And so I've just been going through, not writing down every single play, but obviously you could write down the results of every single play and keep stats for yourself and all that. But you can see there's been, so far, Arizona scored first. 3 minutes and 45 seconds was the drive length. They had a TD run of 1 yard. They had a big play in there of like 50 yards or something to get them down the field. And then San Francisco came back with a 40-yard field goal. Only took a minute and a half. And then they were driving and then just stalled out inside the 25. And then Arizona came back and drove down the field, kicked a 42-yard field goal. That was a 4.5-minute drive, so a good sustained drive. San Francisco took the ball back and threw an interception, and it was returned back to the 33. So Arizona took over at the San Francisco 33 at the end of the first quarter. They didn't drive very far. They kicked a 27-yard field goal, so down to inside the 10, or to the 10-yard line, I guess. And then they kicked a field goal to make it 13-3. So San Francisco shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. Let's see if they can sustain a drive here in the top part of the second quarter. So we're going to go off the offensive cards here, defense here. So we draw off the offensive cards first. So this is for the play. A 9 of spades is going to be a pass. So 1st and 10. For San Francisco, it's a black 9, so we're going to look at the passing defense, which is this chart here. So we get an 8 of spades, and that's going to be a 6-yard gain. So we take 30 seconds off the clock. It's 2nd down and 4. We go again off of the offense. 8 of spades is going to be a pass. We go to the passing defense, and a 3 of clubs is going to be an incomplete pass. So you can see if it was a 3 of spades, it would have been an automatic interception again. But it is 3rd down and 4. This time it goes to the offense, so that's a pass to the offense because it's a red card. And then the offensive passing, this will be a good play. A queen, either of clubs or spades, is going to be an 18-yard gain. So I had my play here, so I can't remember which side San Francisco was, but they started at their own 10. They gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Had an incompletion. Let's go ahead and take the time off. So we're down to 12:15. And then now another completion of 18 yards. So that's 10, 20 minus 2 is 1, 2. So down to the 34-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 10. So good play there from the Niners as they get a big gain. 1st and 10 from their own 34. We have a 10 of spades. That's going to be a pass. A pass to the defense. So the defense will control this one. This is going to be a 2 of diamonds. 2 of diamonds for the Cardinals defense is going to be another interception. And this is one where we look at how many yards down the field. So 5 yards down the field is the pick. It's not a great system. I'm going to have to come up with another chart, I think. So interception, return to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to the opposing team's 39. That interception is 30 seconds off the clock. So 11:45 means that took 1 minute and 45 seconds, right? 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the score is still 13-3. So Arizona takes over at the 39 of San Francisco, and they take over with 11:45 left. So coming back the other way, and then we shuffle. So get a good shuffle in. So this, Arizona should not win this game on the road at San Francisco. And they may not in the end, but this is the beauty of it, right? You got to go out and you got to play the games. And Arizona doesn't have the greatest defense. And their offense is a little less than average. I don't know if you can see the numbers on the plays there, but 17 is their largest play, 20 for San Francisco, and really that's based off of yards per catch. So I'm basing both the offensive plays and the defensive plays on yards per catch. So how far down the field, or what is the what's the total yards per catch average for each team? And so that's how I figured that. So teams with longer yards per catch are going to have some bigger numbers both at the bottom end and the top end. You can see a 5 and a 6 is the smallest completion for San Francisco. A 3 and a 4 is the smallest completion for Arizona. So just a better passing offense here. and a better rushing offense for sure. They have a couple of 8-yard plays. They have a couple of 9-yard plays, a 10 and 12, a couple of 8s, a 9 and 10. So you can sort of see the profiles of each team just in the number of yards available for each play. And I actually went through and averaged these so that they came out to the averages and made sure that that mixture of numbers is correct. It's actually surprisingly not as difficult to create these cards, and I'm actually a little more motivated. The last iteration with all the plays and everything, it was a lot. And I just was avoiding it, and I don't think I can make a game where I'm avoiding creating the teams. I don't think that's going to work out well for any of us. So here we are, Arizona with the ball. You can see that hopefully. It's going to be a 6 of clubs. So here we're looking at Arizona now. So a 6 of clubs is going to be a rushing play. That's to the defense because it's a club. So we look at San Francisco's rushing defense. A 7 in one of the black suits is a +1. So down to the 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. We take our 30 seconds off. For Arizona, this is going to be another running play. This time to the offense because it's red. So a 3 is in the red is going to be a 0, so a gain of 0. And it's going to be 3rd down and 9. I'm going to go ahead and call a pass. So you can let the results determine it, or you can just go ahead and call a pass or a rush. You can't call out a sack, obviously, but you can call out a pass or a rush. So if you want those sacks to come into play, you just flip it and let it come into play. This is going to be, so that now we ignore the suit because we don't need the suit. I mean the value, we just need the suit. So it's a black card. So I'm throwing it. So this is going to be a pass, like a pass to the defense. I mean, it would have been anyway, but it's just like a pass to the defense. If this had been like a 4 of spades or a 4 of diamonds, you know, you look at the suit, not the card value. So that's one way that you can call out the play. So this is a pass to the defense, 3rd and 9. And we'll say Kyler Murray dropping back. Pass defense, 6 of clubs is going to be an incomplete pass. So 15 seconds off the clock. And the Cardinals are at the 38. This is a 55-yard field goal. I'm going to go ahead and elect to go for it as opposed to kicking the field goal. So on an extra point, you'll use the first column, and maybe on a 50+ yard field goal, everybody has to use the last column. So maybe we'll just do that. We'll just do that and kick the 55-yarder. Let's see. We'll use this last column here, and this is going to be to the offense. So you need to have at least a 6 in order to make it. There's a 9, and so that's going to be a 55-yarder. And that takes 15 seconds off, so we're down to 10:15. That's a minute and a half. And the score is 16-3. So San Francisco, with a couple of costly mistakes, 2 interceptions on their own side of the field, has led to a couple of field goals for Arizona. So San Francisco yet to get a big play, yet to get a score. That's not a field goal. Some people may be wondering, why why do I keep creating so many games? Some of it is just, with football, I just haven't been able to get the right combination. It's like you're trying to translate a sentence into another language, and You're doing your best to find the right word. You're doing your best to find the right connotation. But the reality is it's never going to be perfect. And sometimes the translation is a lot less perfect than at others. So here's the kickoff. And so I keep struggling, trying to find the right word, so to speak. We have a 4. 4 is a 4 of diamonds is going to be a 66-yard kick. So that's down to 1 yard deep in the end zone. And the return is a 7 of clubs. So 7 of clubs is going to be a 19-yard return. So that's going to be out to the 18-yard line. So we're here. 18-yard return. And San Francisco takes over at their own 18. And they take over with 10 minutes left in the second. All right, San Francisco ball. This is going to be a running play to the defense. We have a jack. That's going to be +9, so 10, 9. And it'll be second down and 1. 6 of clubs is going to be another running play to the defense. Here's a big one. So a king of hearts is going to be +8. So 10, 9, 8. So up to the 35-yard line, it's going to be first down and 10. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. And San Francisco is starting to get something going on the ground. There's going to be another running play to San Francisco. So 8, that's going to be a +3. 1, 2, 3, up to the 38-yard line. Second down and 7 for the 49ers. And another rushing play, this time to the defense. But this will be a big gainer as they're going to get 10 yards on the run. So out to the 48-yard line. And that'll be first and 10 for the Niners. Another running play, this time to the defense. A 3 of spades is going to be a nice, 3 of spades is going to be a nice play from the Arizona defense. That's a -2. So they go back to, it's going to be second down and 12 for San Francisco. Here's a pass to the defense. A 9 of diamonds is going to be a 7-yard gain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and brings up third down and 5. Another pass play to the defense, and this is going to be a good play. So 2 of hearts on is going to be a big play for the defense. So this first chance for the big plays to come in, and that's where we're using here. We're looking at this big play chart. So we flip. 8 of clubs is going to be a quarterback knockdown. There's going to be a mechanic in there where if you get so many quarterback knockdowns that something happens. Your quarterback gets taken out or something. your offense goes like to a -1 or some sort of reason. But quarterback knockdown is nothing, incomplete. So it was third and 5, and we're going to have an incompletion there. So they are at the 47. They're going to have to punt, and we get our play back out for the punts. We have our punting chart over here. So the offense is going to punt the ball. 3 is going to be a 38-yard punt. So that takes us down to 10, 20, 30. That would be 40, 38. So I like to point them in the direction that we're going. So that's a kick down to the 9-yard line. And the return for the defense is a queen. Queen of diamonds is going to be a fair catch. So a fair catch at the 9. That's where Arizona is going to take over. So punt is 38 yards. and takes off 15 seconds. So 3.5 minutes. And the drive just stalls out for San Francisco. So Arizona takes over at their own 9. And that's going to be with 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Give it a good shuffle. And I'll let you look at the plays there. You want to zoom in or something. You can just see lots of different things going on in the charts themselves. Typically, if it's a red suit, it's going to favor the offense, and a black suit is going to favor the defense, especially as you go toward the ace, king, queen, jack, the face cards. Those results are generally going to favor the offense or the defense more than the others. So just kind of depends on what you're drawing. They're equal numbers, so it's like doing a 1 through 10 roll with a roll of dice. Every number is an equal percentage, so we're not combining anything together, so there's no sort of diamond shape as far as percentages are concerned. Everything is a 1 to 26 chance or a 1 to 52 chance. So Arizona takes over at their own 9-yard line. I could have done a coffin corner kick, I guess, but that turned out just fine. So Arizona takes over at their own 9. That's going to be a 5, and that is a rush to the defense. So the defensive rushing is going to be a 1-yard gain. So it takes it to the 10-yard line. Second down and 9. 10 is going to be a pass to the defense. Should be a good defensive play here. So 10, that's going to be a 9-yard gain. That'll be a first down. So that would be 10 9-yard gain. So first and 10 for Arizona from their own 19. 7 of hearts is going to be a rushing play, not a passing play. So this will be a rush to the offense. Black 7 on a rushing play is going to be a +4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 out to the 23-yard line. Second down and 6. That's a 5. That's going to be a rush to the defense. And the defense 10 on a black is going to be +5. So what does that make us? I need a little something to keep track of the down and distance. I think it was 2nd and 4. There was a 7 and then a black 7. Okay, so it was 2nd and 6. This is going to bring up a 3rd and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3rd and 1 from the 28. Arizona with the ball again, and they're going to have a rush to the offensive. And this is going to be a nice running play as they go for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's going to bring up first down and 10 from their own 35. 4 is going to be a rush to the defense. Good defensive play here. So this is going to be a gain of 0 on the defensive play. Second down and 10. We get another running play, this time to the offense. And a 6. That's going to be a +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-yard gain brings up 3rd down and 6. Let's go ahead and pass the ball. So we get a black to the defense. It's a pass to the defense. And this is going to be a queen, a black queen, and that's a +12. So that's going to bring up a first down. So 10 11, 12 gets us over in across midfield and into San Francisco territory. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half. Remember, under 2 minutes, everything is going to be 15 seconds. So another pass play, this time to the offense. And the 10 is going to be a 9-yard gain. So that would be 10, 9. And we're at the 2-minute warning, basically, at this point. So Arizona with the ball. Jack, that's going to be a pass to the offense. Another good play. Red Jack is going to be an 11-yard gain. So 10, 11 takes them down to the 29-yard line. 1:45 left in the half. 3 is going to be a running play to the defense. And this will be a good play for the defense. So 2 of clubs is going to be a big play. So let's see what the big play is, and we're looking here. And it's a 7, and running back is injured for a game. I actually have taken that out and replaced it with the penalty. So we're going to do a penalty on the offense. So let's draw on the offensive side. So we're looking at the penalties on the offense. It's a running play. So a 9 is going to be a delay of game. So it's minus 5 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And no time off the clock because it's a delay of game. So I believe it is. This is where I got to keep track of all the down and distance. I believe it's 2nd and 15. With 1:45 left. I'm sorry, it's 1st and 15 with a delay game. So a 5 is going to be a rush to the offense. 4, not a great play. Just a 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd down and 14. Got a pass play to the offense. Could be a good one. A Black King is going to be a 17-yard gain. So that'll be a 1st down. 10, 20, minus 1, 2, 3, down to the 16. 1:15 left in the quarter, or in the half. And this is going to be an 8. That is another pass, this time to the defense. Another good play. A Black Queen is a pickup of 12. So 10, 11, 12, down to the 4-yard line with 1 minute left in the half. Let's see if Arizona can punch it in. A 2 of clubs is going to be a running play to the defense. And this is another big play opportunity. So San Francisco looking to stiffen here. An 8 on a running play is going to be a fumble. And so there's a fumble, and at the line of scrimmage +5 is a fumble into the end zone. And San Francisco is going to recover it for the touchback. So San Francisco stiffens on that fumble inside the 5-yard line. So this drive ends in a fumble and a touchback with 45 seconds left. And we're going to go ahead and call that halftime. San Francisco is going to run out the clock and not try to score. They only have a couple of plays to go down the field. But that's the game so far. So that's playing out, most of the second quarter. Most of the gameplay is fine, and most of the plays are in there. The only thing I'm really missing is if there's an interception, how do you figure the yards on that? Otherwise, most everything is sort of completed with the game, all the different plays that you would expect. There are some blocks on punts. Return TDs are possible, fumbles, that we got fair catches in here and touchbacks. On the kickoffs or the punts, there's a varying level of distances, and then once you get to the big plays, then like here, there's a chance for 60, 70 yard punts, or running into the kicker, roughing the kicker. that might determine a first down, that type of thing. So there's lots of different plays in there, lots of different opportunities for things, and hopefully it continues to develop well. Like I said, I've got plenty of teams. I can crank these teams out pretty quickly, like maybe 3 to 6 an hour. So that's that's moving pretty quickly. Most teams are going to be about the same, so I can kind of copy and paste and get pretty close to what another team is going to be. And mostly just trying to figure out, what the cards are going to look like, how that's going to go. And then I need to create a new sheet for this. But the game is looking good. One other announcement that I would make is I'm going to begin, well, I've already begun the process of transitioning all of my games into one website. So it's going to be not just a bunch of websites and social media floating around everywhere. So I have one singular source of truth for news and for updates and for things like this where I'm trying out new games or concepts. I'm also going to try out some new pricing models, and maybe something a little bit more modern than just buying a season at a time. And so I'll be rolling those things out over time, and I'll have bigger announcements about the sort of the umbrella company for all of these different brands, and that umbrella company will have all of these brands underneath them. So we'll keep the Quick Play brand and OnBase and that sort of thing, but there will be an overarching singular website that keeps all of my games, all of my concepts, and then it'll also be able to house these new pricing models that may be actually conducive to doing some things like cross-era replays that are inhibited by having to buy a bunch of different seasons. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it will be received well, and it'll be something that feels familiar to you in this current marketplace. Don't want to say too much about it, but I do want to just say that I'm excited to bring everything under one roof, because right now I started with one game and didn't realize it was going to branch out into multiple sports and multiple games. And so at this point, going from site to site to site to site, checking for comments and all that kind of stuff, and game reviews and all the things that happen to happen, or somebody saying, where can I find your games? And then I have to list out like 6 different websites to find my games. That's not exactly like the most efficient thing that I could do. And so I'm going to bring everything together into one spot. That way, it might even help discoverability, because a lot of people just don't know about my games, and maybe they hear about one, but they don't know that I have basketball as well, or they don't know that I'm working on football games or working on golf or whatever it is, or that I've had so many baseball games go into production. And maybe they know about one, but they don't know about the others. So I'm hoping that bringing everything together under one roof will help discoverability of all of my games that I put out there, and maybe can grow this just a little bit. Your help also helps to grow. If you enjoy my games, if you enjoy the things I'm putting out, then please share it. Just share a link, share the video, whatever you want to do. And the more it goes out to the community, the more people become aware. And there aren't a lot of media outlets in this hobby. So the people sharing what they do and what they're playing, whether it's through YouTube and streaming something, or it's through just sharing a link on Facebook or Delphi or wherever, that is the way it grows. That is sort of the only advertising that we have in this hobby. So it's much appreciated whenever you do that, or you just recommend it to somebody. And the other update is that I'll also be transitioning this particular channel from OnBase to the new brand, the new sort of umbrella brand. So that will be coming. Hopefully you can tell that I'm using this as a catch-all anyway. So I'm doing football on here and the golf, and I've introduced the basketball on here, and that's because it's a community that's the biggest that I have. And so I will be transitioning that. So if you want to stick around, there will be on-base stuff on the channel for sure. But there's going to be other things too. But it's not really a change from what I've been doing with the on-base baseball channel. You might be confused at why there's golf and other things on there. I just need one omni channel to be able to introduce things and put everything. And this is where the audience is gathered. So this is the channel that I'll transition. Maybe some people will skip out and not want to have to subscribe to that, but maybe since you have subscribed, or if you have subscribed, then you're just interested in lots of different types of things that I'm doing. So hopefully that's the case, and also that it will be a singular point, which more people can come in as subscribers. So, a dozen or 2 dozen or 3 dozen subscribers for each of my other channels, maybe they'll come over and be a part of this. So yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. If you see anything that could make this better, like just from watching it, let me know. It's very much in the formative stage. I've been working on it for a week or two and sort of gotten it to this place. I'm still debating whether to give offenses and defenses +1s and -1s, kind of like we have in quick play baseball, where you can, a +1 is going to move you toward the better results, and a -1 is going to move you toward the more negative results. Especially on these, it would be on the passing and rushing charts here. So it will move you toward bigger plays or toward more incompletions, let's say on a passing. And that would just sort of reflect how good or bad the offense was. They get penalized just a little bit. But I don't want to have too many moving parts as far as like trying to remember, add this and do this over here and do that over there. So I want to make it as straightforward as I can, while still being true to the realism of each team. So, and what each team was like. All right. I think that is it for me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe and you'll be notified of new videos when I post them. You'll get them in the app, or if you click the little bell icon, then I think you get notified by email if you want, or in the app, or push notifications, whatever you want. And then you won't have to worry whether I've published a new video or not. The golf game, I had a question about that. The golf game is in process. So I put out a 9-hole demo of the golf game. And if you want access to that, I'd be happy to send you the link or post it in the description if you want. And I'm just sort of waiting for feedback from people. I've had a couple of people talk to me about the gameplay, maybe a couple of additions that would be good and helpful for that. Otherwise, the course is ready. If everything is good to go right now, the first course, the Georgia course, is ready. And that was fun to put together. It was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed, I love golf anyway, but I enjoyed putting that together. And there's, a million golf courses. So opportunities there, at least one for each state, which, like the most famous one in each state would be a really cool, like set or a way to go, or, world courses. There's lots of ways that you can go with golf, lots of different places that you can do. So we'll keep plugging away at that, and when it comes, it comes. But overall, I'm pleased with the results and the different golfers that I came up with. And again, there's different types of golfers. There's ladies, there's men. There's all types of ways that you can go and directions you can go with a golf game. So I could see it being overwhelming very easily, but also enough variation that it could just keep it all really interesting over time. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.